I'm Scout. Today we're going to be learning about Source Filmmaker, in case you're new. So right now we're going to start the basics. First you have your Source Filmmaker sessions, the directory. So just set this up to G, Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Source Filmmaker, Game, User Mod, Elements as sessions. Don't need to fill this part out. Here's your frame rate. If you have a high-res computer like I do, I just click 72. If you have a lower one, I suggest either 48 or 12. Right now I'm doing 72. Here's the name of your new session. So select any name you want. For now, since this video is the basics, I'll just call it the basics. Okay, now we have this. Now you just hit create. And there you go. There's no map loaded, but that's because there isn't a map loaded. This is your timeline. If you can't see it, if you're far away and you can't see it here, this is your timeline. This is where you can do stuff like just selecting your timeline, cutting it out, and editing more. So anyways, this is where you get your models from. This is the element viewer. We'll discuss that later in another video. This is your little tabs. Primary viewport. Right now you just need this. Anyways, let's select our first. Let's learn about this. The render settings just selects your render settings for when you render the animation out. I just bookmark this if you have a good computer. Enable lighting, you'll learn what that does. These I guess I'll probably explain in another video. Anyways, just hit load map. Right now I have some mods, but let's just go for Black Void. This is just a little preset if you have TF2 movies. I'll just save this for a bit, so just wait. Might take long, but that's just because Source Filmmaker is still, well, probably in beta, so it's gonna take a bit. There you go. Right now you can't see, but that's because enable lighting's off. If we enable it, this is what you're stuck with. This is the map, Black Void. It's just a black void. Anyways, right now let's get your first model. These are for cameras, so you can move the cameras, lighting, models, particle systems, and existing elements. Anyways, let's just hit new model. Right now, let's go for citizen. Nothing over the top, just Half-Life. Here, let's see. Let's go for this one. That way you can see the facial expression. Okay, right now you have the model here. At this part, right now you have the model, but how do you control it? You either hit curl or just at the bottom left of your keyboard, and it'll pop this up. Right now you can't still control it. You want to know why? The timeline. The timeline down here, there's three other things. This, which pops this up and you can edit the timeline. This is the graph editor, or well, motion editor. You can do some things. Right now, if you do this, you can see all the bones. You can go over here, move the hand a bit. But the most thing I use is just a little timeline editor. This is where you can just edit the body and make it move like simple animations. Right now, since we're on the posing part, let's pose this guy. Right now, as you see, there's multiple bones. I suggest just making sure they're as smooth as possible. So right now, let's move this body a bit, make it a bit more lively. Anyways, let's learn about this. It's just, right now, hitting this and having the bones pop out is just an easy way of moving the bones. But if you just want to know what everything is, this is where you go. there should be a plus icon near where you first get your model. You click that. Then you have all these tabs loaded. Right now they're already up because I was just moving the bones, but now they're down. Anyways, the first part I recommend when you're posing a body is just the body itself. So the first thing you need is just to move all of this, and then you can move the neck and head. That way you can see that I already moved the neck and head, but you already saw that I had to readjust it a bit for the animation. The arms are just the arms, where you can move the arms. And then we have the fingers. Now this is this is the area that you need to learn a bit more. The fingers. Of course, since the bones are a bit weird, right now as you can see, where I can control the bones is at the thumb, but that just causes this. If you do this, it moves that bone, but it moves this, so you have a weird animation. If you're a more advanced SFM community, you could just use the single bone textures and do that. But if you have a good enough model that doesn't do that problem, you can move the fingers easy. Anyways, here are the legs. Right now, some models might have toes, which you can move a bit so you can make it more lively. Here's just the unknown parts. Right now, these parts really don't matter unless you want to make more animations and you're more advanced than me. So this is the face. This is where you can control the jaw, the facial expressions, where you can make him either angry. This is for more advanced simulations, or animations, I mean. Anyways, here's a smile, the chin raiser. Here's a jaw drop. Also, you must put the mouth drop at a full, because if you don't, it'll just do this. You don't want that. So put the mouth drop at this, then you can make him talk. You can make a bit like that. Hold on, let's see if I can. You can make him angry, you can make him depressed. That's where you can move a lot of things. Right now, let's move the face a bit so we can get a bit of a good expression. Now, we should have something. Yeah, here are the eyes. We have some options where the eye converge. But right now, we want the view target. As you see, you can't really move the eyes, they're not a bone. So you need this, or you can use settings like this. But I suggest using this, that way you can lock it on. So if there was something like, if he moves his head like this, but his eyes stay here, you have to move this thing. This is just a bone that connects the eyes, so you can do it like that. Anyways, let's make him actually look a bit more lifelike. Okay, there we go. Right now, this is a good facial expression. Either just anger, disgust, confusion. Anyways, we got a simple pose right here. Right now, we have the pose right here, so at the end of this tutorial, you'll learn about exporting and rendering. So right now we have the pose, let's make the movement. Right now, the movement, we're just going to do a bit of simple movement. There'll be a second video, the advanced basics, where we'll do more advanced movements and smoothing out. Anyways, there's two things I recommend you doing. I recommend you right-clicking on this. You go here. A lot of the stuff might be in the advanced video. I don't know yet. Anyways, the most important of this all is either the skins right here, the body groups, the override materials, which will be in the advanced, and the rigs. First of all, this is what you need, the rigs. Right now, if you just hover over and just says remove transform locks before attaching and detaching rigs, it means that you locked something in the model. Something I didn't even know. If this symbol has a locked thing, that means you locked something like this. I locked this somewhere. I don't know where I did. So if you want to unlock it, you just click the lock and it unlocks. Now let's go back here, and there you go. If you're using a normal model from either Half-Life 2, Gmod, or TF2, you don't need. You just need rig biped simple. What this does is just remove a lot of the unknown ports, and now you're wondering, how are you gonna move the body? If you have a rig on right now, you just move the hand. It moves the arms and everything. That will give us more simple movement. Actually, no, it'll give us more advanced movements, but let's not do that right now. So if you want to detach it, you just do this, and right now it's going to lag probably, so just wait. There we go. Now let's start with the movements. Right now you have the graph editor, well, the timeline editor, whatever you can call it. Hold on, it should, oh yeah, the graph editor. Oh yeah, there's also keyframes, so I can hit F2, F3, F4. Just hit F4 because that's the most important. Right now, spline is the smoothment option, so let's turn that off and go to linear. Anyways, let's move the spine a bit. And once you do that, oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. These are keyframes. There's two options you can do it. Well, they're bookmarks, but I like to call them keyframes. You either click this button and it'll add this mark. So let me delete all this movement so you can see a bit. So if I want to move something right here, I can do this, which will add a keyframe, so I can just move it anywhere I want. Or I could just add this, and then I can move it. I recommend you just using the key assigned to it, like M. Right now, mine is assigned to M, and I'm pretty sure yours is too. So if you just want a bit of an animation, so just to make it a bit more lively, we can do this. Right now it looks a bit weird, but that's because it's not really smoothed out, and a lot of the body parts aren't moving either. So let's use the second spine. The third. Now we're going to be moving on to the arms. Here are the clavicles. They're usually up near the shoulders. If your little model doesn't have clavicles, then you can only move the up arms and the lower arms. Okay, so let's move this a bit to make it more lively. Okay, up to the up arms now. Also note, if any of your models are arms or any body part is clipping through another, either move that same body part a bit out or move the up arm or the clavicle, because that just moves the whole arm. Just a little tip. Right now we have the up arm we're moving a bit. Let's start with this now. Like this. You can see how it's nearly clipping. Just move that a bit out. Now we're on to the hands. Oh yeah, I should have mentioned that we're going on lower arms. Sorry about that. As you can see, it's already developing a better shape than our pose before. As you can see, it's a bit of a simple movement, but it's better than what's going to happen. The advanced movements will start by this again, and we'll just move it out. Anyways, we're off to the hands now. Oh yeah, I didn't hit the hand part. If you can't find the hand thing, just use this. It'll help you find it. Right now we just need the right hand. Sometimes the hand or whatever you need is in something. Like right now the hand is in the wrist. That's why I use rigs a lot often, because that way I don't have to go here and waste a bit of time. Anyways, let's find the hand again. Okay. As you can see, we can develop movements now. Right now, this is just a bit of a simple movement. Now, you have the simple movement. But of course, there's a problem with this. If you don't want just this whole thing to be lit up, let's just disable the lighting and... Oh, wait. You can't see it. That's where the lighting comes in. Up here where you found the model, you can remember that I explained this, and the second option being lights. Right now, if you have a camera on right now, or you have this primary camera, right now this is the primary camera, go here, or just click this, and go hit to new camera. This will add a second camera. Right now, we have to keep that as secondary, so let's switch that to secondary. There you go. The primary viewport should be, I'm having a problem with that. We'll just use this. Anyways, if you have a camera selected, you just go up to where you want to light it, like right now, using this little dot in the center. If you want to light this area of his body, you just hit light, and then there's a light added, and you can see that there. But then, and you have to adjust the lighting. So let's do this. There's intensity, ambient intensity, horizontal. Right now, this just expands it. So if you go all the way lower, you can see that just expands it. You want to lower the intensity so it doesn't shine. You want to make sure it's good. Okay, here's constant attention. You barely have to use that unless you're on a map that has barely anything. Also, you can see that there. That's just a preset light. Don't know why that's there still. This is linear. It slowly raises light level. We don't need that. Volumetric intensity will start with advanced lighting. That will be in the second video. The colors will be in the advanced one as well, because that needs more attention to it. Anyways, if you want another light, you can just do the same process. Go over here, add the light. You lower the intensity of it. And then as you see, we can see the movement. Right now, the advanced movement, the reason why I'm not moving the fingers yet is because that will be in the second video on the advanced movements. Right now, let's just do this. Everything's good there. Now, this is the one thing. We need to learn about the particles now. So right now, as we can see, you're going to need mostly ideas for any animation you're starting. So, as you can see, this guy's looking to the right like he's heard something. Well, to his left, but my right. But then all of a sudden he hears something over here, and so he checks it out. So, let's just add something there to make a sound. Then we can figure out about sounds later. Right now there's these folders. Right now you just need to go to Steam Apps, Common, Source Filmmaker, Game, and then once you're here, you can select any type of game that's already in this directory. Right now, let's go for TF2, which is just TF. Then, right now you have this. The only thing you can interact with is particles. Now you have all these, which gives you tons of settings. So let's make an explosion. Right now, here it is. You have each settings. You can make it either a flash, dust, or just a normal explosion. Right now, let's go for the explosion core wall. You made it, so now it should be in front of you. Except it isn't. The reason is that for some reason it's there now. You can see, but it's not on now. You have the frame right here into the negatives. Go back, and that will fix it. Anyways, let's put the explosion here. And I also recommend you go before you activate the little particle effect. Go once you this, just go quickly. Go to the models, click transform, and hit frame. That's when you know start, so you can move it quickly here because it starts over here. Then you go over here. You can see it. That's where it is. So this gives your little animation some life because now you can actually see why it's turning around. As you see, the action is a bit delayed. So let's start right here. Now the easiest thing is probably just going back to the particle thing and just making another one and deleting this one. But let's do this. Right now there's 3 more new keys. Freeze, particles, instance. Right now let's go to edit. That's what you need. The start time is when the animation starts, but if you look up here, that's where it's supposed to start right now, where you want it. So you just go to 83 because that's where we want it to start, and we hit that. Then you go do this again, and there you go. It isn't starting there, but instead, wait, what? Hold on, something's wrong with this. I must have did something wrong with this. Hold on. Okay, so let's do this again because it seems like I accidentally did something. Oh, I see what I did. Hold on. At least I think I did. Okay, there we go. Hold on. Just fixing this. Ah, I think I did something wrong with this. So let's fix this again. Something I did, this wasn't the normal thing. I did this, so let's go to, just put the 0 in, 0.83. Let's hope this fixes it. It looks like it doesn't. Right now it goes to 0. Right now I don't know what's going on with it, so that's sad. So let's just delete it. If you can't really do that, just delete it and then find where you want to start it, like right here. That's when she should react. Go back here, do the same thing again, find the same thing that you want. Right now I should find it somewhere. It should be in here somewhere, so just look for what you used before or want to use. Let's see where it is. It should be somewhere up here. Here it is. For a second I've lost it. Oh, I just saw something. Ah, well, that's what it was, sure. Now we have it here. I almost forgot to hit the keyframe, so I would have gotten where it started. There you go. Now let's just move this over here. We have to get it a bit far away, so that way it doesn't conflict with the model. Then we do that. Let's position the model like here. As you can see, an explosion happens. Now that's the particles just in a nutshell. We'll learn about more of that in advanced basics. Anyways, now we got a simple animation. This is just how the simplest as it can be in the animation community. So now, let's export it and render it. So right now, as you can see, if you want to pose, you just do this. You hit File. Also, if you want to save, just hit Save. If you want to change the name, Save As. Now here's these options. What you want to do is go to export. If you want just a poster, go to the post option. Just name whatever it is. Make sure it's in these things: Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Source Filmmaker, Game, User Mod, Elements, and Renders. Anyways, here's the things. Right now, I recommend just JPEG. It's good, better. Right now, here's the inches. I suggest pixels as well. And there we go. Now we export it out. As you can see, right now there's something going on here, which means it's finishing that part. Oh, yep, there you go. That part's finished, as you can see by the gray outline in that. That part, then that part, and then that part we'll have to finish. It's about to be done. And now, all I have to do is just go to the files. Actually, I'll show you on the I'll show you that later once we export the actual animation. Now, here's where the timeline comes into play. As you can see, if I export right now, when the animation stops, it won't stop either. It'll go all the way till this. Right now, you see all the way over here, there's this. If you look very closely at the end, you can see what I'm talking about. Now, this is what you need to do. You go all the way to the end of where the time frame is. You can zoom it in. I'm going to zoom it in so you can see where it is. This part. You go all the way to where where you want the animation to start. Stop. You just go to use your keyframe or your mouse. Go where the animation stops, and then just push it all the way down until it locks on to there. There. Now we export it out as a movie. It's been modified, so let's save it in case something goes wrong. Right now, on the normal source Filmmaker 1 on version, or the beta, we only have 720p, so that's bad, but I believe you could change that in some things later. Here's the render settings we were talking about earlier in this. Right now, let's do just progressive refinement. Now you have everything, the resolution set. Here, let's do selected if you want on if. Oh yeah, I should also note something. If you have an animation going for longer than 20 seconds, it corrupts, which means you have to cut it before 20 seconds. Then once that part's done, you you select the other shots. So here, for example, right now, ow. All you want to do is just hit B if you want to cut something. The keyboard B. Then you have this part, which is separate from this. So if I have right now this model exists in this, but if I go here, nothing exists in it right now. Well, it still does exist, but if I made it before this, then it would have been, nothing would be there. So anyways, this is, you can do some things with it. You can replace it with black, which helps with just time lapses and time trance. This is the element, operations, edit clip. You can just do anything in here with this. Right now, this is what you need to do, so let's exit that out. Let's go back to exporting again. Go to movie, save. There we go. Now we have seconds frames. I recommend seconds. The only time you need to do frames is if you just want the, just advanced. Right now I just do seconds because I don't want to have some useless frames in my computer that take up space. So just hit seconds. That way you have one video. Right now, the format I use is just Avi's video editing software. It's pretty helpful sometimes. Anyways, you export it out now. This is right now. I'll play this. Right now, it's about to be done because it's at there. There we go. It's done. Now we exported and rendered this. So right now we got it. We did it. Now let's go to the folder. Let's go to Steam. And well, SFM is. Right now here's the sessions. Here it is. This is the video first. Let's get the post out first. Yeah, let's see where it is. Here it is. This is the poster. Right now, there's one thing that you must be corrected about sometimes. As you can see on the face, luckily I zoomed in, but as you can see on the face, there's a bit of blur. That's the reason because as right now, the body is in SFM is moving, so it gives this blur effect, which we didn't want, but I wasn't paying attention to it. Anyways, let's go to elements. If you want to see this, you just go here. Here, read carefully. Then you go to sessions, basics. Just if you have Avi, just don't listen to this. Just hit OK. There you go. Just ignore this. Don't build the index. Sometimes it does bad things. Just play as it is. Right now there isn't any sound, but you'll learn that in the advanced. I hope I helped you with some things. This is the advanced basics. Just pay attention for the second video I'll be posting soon. Right now, this was Scout. I hope I'll see you all later as soon as the second video comes out. Bye.